Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I'm starting a new sketchbook. Yep, I know it's always super scary to start a sketchbook, but more about that later. So before starting to draw, I like to set the mood. Normally I either light a scented candle or an incense stick, like this one. Actually, this particular set was a gift from my man. He bought it in China during a business trip. Due to his work, he often goes over to Shenzhen or Hong Kong, and he always comes back with some gifts. Some of his gifts include like tea or cookies, Jenny cookies, or traditional cloth shoes called buxie. Unfortunately, this year, due to the COVID crisis, he was not able to go to China, so I'm missing my presents. Okay, let's decorate. As you see, this box actually used to be a mooncake box. Mooncakes are a Chinese bakery product and eaten during the Mid-Autumn Festival, which is actually right now, this year. The Mid-Autumn Festival is one of the most important festivals and celebrated in several Asian countries. Also here in Korea, where it's called Chuseok. Yep, as you can see, I really love to collect cute stationery. I'm lucky to live in Korea where there's plenty. I remember when I first chanced upon a so-called art box, which is a cute kitsch store here in Korea. Oh, I was going crazy. Everything was so cute. Luckily, now living in Korea and being surrounded by cute stuff, I got used to it. In the end, I decided to go with a simple traditional Korean pattern to decorate this new sketchbook. Actually, I love drawing girls in traditional East Asian clothes, so I wanted the theme of this sketchbook to match its content. Well, at least I hope that's what I'm gonna draw. We'll see. Gosh, starting a new sketchbook is so intimidating. I tend to buy lots of sketchbooks and other planners and just keep them empty. And then I even forget how many I actually have at home. So for this one, I actually needed a new watercolor sketchbook. So I recently discovered a store in my neighborhood. I actually live in an artsy neighborhood in Korea. So we went there with my man and I found this sketchbook. And I thought, well, I'm gonna give it a new chance. So I really envy other people when I watch, YouTube videos and see how they have these neat sketchbooks and then they show us their content and it's like one beautiful sketch after another. And because I personally feel really intimidated, I think I've never really finished a sketchbook until now. It's always just I start one and then for a few pages and then I just forget about it. Personally, I love the idea of having all my sketches drawn together in a neat sketchbook and being able to go through the pages and see either my improvement or seeing all my sketches like a story evolving. But since I'm so afraid of messing up, I tend to draw on separate pages, whether it's watercolor pages or other pages, and just leave them scattered around the room and nowhere to be found. Actually, I don't even know where half of my sketches are. Yeah, so maybe I should get them all and organize them in some manner, but oh well. At least I don't feel intimidated when I just have one watercolor page in front of me, but if it's a whole sketchbook, yeah, it really scares me. I wonder if you know this feeling, like staring into a blank page full of potential and suddenly all the ideas you had, everything you wanted to draw, it seems so small and ugly and insignificant and you don't even know how to get started. So then, kind of as an excuse, I start overthinking and like thinking about why would I even start a sketchbook, or I don't know, is my art even worth it? Maybe I should not show this to anyone anyway. So that's what I was thinking also when I started this channel. I was thinking, well, there are so many better artists out there anyway, and I don't really know how to make videos at all, and who am I anyway? Then my art is not that great. People are gonna judge me. I don't know how to do this. But then I decided that, I would just give it a go and we'll see how it goes. So starting this channel for me is a way of breaking with my perfectionism. I tend to overthink everything and like just assume that, I have to do it either perfectly or I should not put my stuff into the world. But I feel that you only improve if you try. So I can only improve while I'm doing it. If I never do it, then I just have an idea in my head, and the idea of how the result is supposed to be is only getting higher and higher, like my standards for it, and so I will never reach it if I don't even try and see what I can do. I feel that's a problem that many of us might have. So we have an inflated idea of the result, maybe also watching stuff from others and comparing. And then when we start, we might not be as good as we imagine ourselves to be or that we should be. And so we get discouraged. But I mean, if we don't even start, we cannot really improve. So we have to kind of be compassionate enough with ourselves to see our, humble starts, and then be compassionate and have enough patience to see ourselves grow into that vision that we have of ourselves. But there needs to be some kind of start. So I guess you have to be willing to be a fool in the beginning. I think an important quote I heard somewhere was about don't compare your first draft to someone's bestseller or something like that, which was, in other words, means like, like you just started out and you don't have to compare your first few tries with someone's peak, basically. I mean, because what you see of others might be highly edited or might have like years of work behind, or that person, you don't know how they started when they first started out. So we should not compare ourselves to that. Actually, for the outlines, I didn't do it in one step. I finished the watercolor base, and after that I was so tired I went to sleep. So in total this drawing took me around 8 hours. I think the watercolor base was around 2 hours. I mean, including the sketch, obviously. And then on the second day I started working on the outlines. And I tend to take a lot of time for the outlines because it's my favorite part, to be honest. So I love drawing little details, and especially also the face and the eyes. I also really enjoy shading the hair one by one, as you can see here. By the way, if you haven't noticed until now, this little girl is wearing a hanbok, which is a traditional Korean cloth, and it's worn during special events. Although these days there are many hybrid and modern versions, so girls may also wear them when they go out, for example, for a photo shoot or just for a modern vibe. But generally, especially the skirt part is not super easy to walk in. So this traditional type of hanbok is often worn during special events such as New Year's or the Mid-Autumn Festival, Chuseok. The little kids might wear it and bow down in front of the elders and receive their blessing and also their money. Maybe that's one of their favorite part. But also during weddings, normally it's the elder, like the mothers of the bride and of the groom, who might wear a hanbok together with aunts and other family members. Also, there is a custom that during weddings, mostly the bride and the groom, they might wear, like a modern attire, such as a white wedding dress and a tuxedo. But then for the second part, when they go greet the guests after the ceremony, while the guests are still eating, they might change into hanbok. Actually, the first thing that my husband and I prepared before getting married was to get our hanboks done. So we went to a tailor and told him more or less what colors we liked, and then there are special colors that newlyweds wear, so they tend to wear lighter hanboks, and often the bride might wear like a light pink skirt, and so that's what we got done. So during the ceremony I got changed a lot and I got to wear my hanbok too. We had an outdoor ceremony. I started with a white wedding dress, and we had a photo shoot at the location because it was a park, actually very beautiful. And then as people started coming in, I got changed into a hanbok, and then I put on top of that some extra clothes to make the hanbok look more traditional. And so we did a traditional bowing ceremony in front of the elders, where they also give us money and good wishes. Since it's a traditional ceremony part, it was also interesting for all my non-Korean guests. After that part, I got changed and got back to my white wedding dress, and then we actually had the real ceremony where I exchanged vows and everything. And after that I got changed again into my hanbok, went on to greet the guests who were eating, and then in the end had some time to eat myself. Anyway, I've loved Hanbok since the first time I came to Korea, which was in 2008. So in 2011, I finally got to wear one and I really loved it. I felt like, this flowiness of the skirt when you move around. I felt like a flower. And it's true, actually. I think if you filmed a person like turning around or dancing in this hanbok from above, it would look like a flower. It's really flowy and really airy. On the other hand, it leaves more space for moving compared to the kimono. Anyway, thanks so much for spending this short time with me. I hope you will look forward to more uploads. I was pretty nervous at first, but I think I'm pretty satisfied with how this drawing turned out. And even with my very basic movie editing skills, I think for a first upload it's not that bad. So I'm looking forward to filling this sketchbook and having you join in this journey. If you enjoy this traditional clothing, hearing more about my life here in Korea, some general rant or psychological rambling, please follow the channel and subscribe. Thanks. Hope you have a lovely day.